whole blockchain industry, right? You have like the finance side, you have the legal side, like what that gentleman is doing, right? You have to talk with regulations and everything. Like you yourself, your background is finance. So finance, decentralized finance, that might be something that you. So there's this one thing called the tokenomics as well. Yeah, so it's about structuring the whole token economy such that it makes sense, right? A lot of people, they just randomly choose. I don't know, but it looks like me, like sometimes the decision is quite random, they throw a dice and then, we're gonna print this, how many tokens or whatever, but there's a mathematics to it, there's an economy to it, like how do you incentivize such that your token don't become, for lack of good word, shitcoin. So you need to understand the psychology, economy, finance, and that's why it's so interesting as well. But then again, this industry is really, really new. And that's why it makes it so exciting to be, like if you want to join, so there's definitely a lot of different ways to be part of it. But I will say one of the good ways is really just to Google or like get a job ad and see what job is in demand, and that's the easiest way to get in, I think.
I just want to follow up on your answer about the blockchain and mutable records and so forth, right? And the flow of the goods, from the base of shipment and so forth. But as end user, right? Let's say I buy this Manuka, right? How can I, as an individual, be able to verify on the blockchain that this is genuine? How can I go about verify? I mean, it's fine to say yes on the blockchain, everything is fine. But as an end user, how can I verify it? Any idea about it?
I think this is a very UX question. Because how do you actually interface blockchain with UX in that sense? How do you make the interface friendly? And how do you actually, I think you also put in an element, how do you incentivize users to go and check the legitimacy of that product? Let's say if you, if you, every time you check something, then you get a reward for checking it, then maybe you will do it.
If I want to check, how can I go about checking it? What way I can verify that is on the blockchain that is in the blockchain itself?
So because like usually when you have this tracking system, right, there's a company behind it, right? So like how do I put it? Let's say today, if you go back to say 20 years back, right? If you want to check your bank account, you need to go to the bank and you probably need to queue up because there's no user interface, right? There's no UX, there's no flow to it. But then let's say like this scenario is like what blockchain is right now. There's actually a way to check the whole record system of like blockchain and everything, but nobody understands it. I mean, not a lot of people can understand it. I went in and was like, oh my gosh, serial numbers after numbers. It took me a while to understand as well. So it's about how the company, how like UX designer can actually make it so easy for you to interact with the blockchain. So in my mind, right? So for example, right, Facebook uses PHP, right? But nobody cares about that. Right? They just know the value that Facebook brings to you. So for the Manuka honey example, you don't need to know that it's sort of like is what technology is running on, but you just need to know that this actually proves it to you. So it's through the whole interface, it's through the app, right? So if there's a very, very user-friendly app for you to use it, and then there's a reason for you to use it, then you could essentially interact with blockchain without really understanding the deep technology that goes behind it, right? It is like all the apps that you have. Right, to check something, you just need to bring out the app and then you just click a few buttons. This is the whole, I think in order for blockchain to really gain a bit of traction, it's so difficult to use now. Like even I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do this, do that, and then I need to install this plugin, whatever. Even myself as a developer, I find it a bit annoying to use. So it's definitely I think there's still a lot of work in that sense, for a user to really be able to interact well with blockchain. But current state, there's actually what do you call it? The blockchain, blockchain explorer. You have the blockchain explorer where you can actually see the things actually. We can show it later, like the blockchain explorer of all the transaction of blockchain, but it's not user friendly as of now. So
Can I take that answer? Question, sorry. See, what she's asking that if I go to a shop, I buy Manuka honey, how I ensure that's a real Manuka honey?
Yeah, correct.
From the source, not a fake one. China or some other country. That's what he meant.
I need to ask you, but yesterday the third company, is it Next ID? Just to confirm. Okay. So Next ID, for instance, is also a third company to verify certificate. So how to check, right? You just QR code, take your camera, point, and then they will lead you to something like etherscan.com. Etherscan.com is your blockchain explorer. You can go and Google later. Just type etherscan.com and then you'll see the transaction. So this QR code, you just take photo, then they will send you there. Then you can see.
You will come and say that it's very genuine and not genuine.
Yeah, that means if got record, right, means it's real. If no record, means not real.
Exactly.
But
So when you scan the QR code, it goes to Etherscan, because if you're not from the industry, you wouldn't understand. But yes, once you scan it, it goes to a website, like an Etherscan website.
It's specific to each one, it's not.
Yes.
yeah.
So it's
specific.
I think people think that I think what he meant is also why would you trust Etherscan as well.
Yeah, that's the point. And then it's only for a particular product, or can I use it for, if I want to check today Manuka, today I want to check an orange actually coming from Australia, or I go check grapes is coming from a different place. Whether can I be sure that what I'm buying is actually genuine or is coming from the right source, right? For example, it's supposed to come from Italy, and actually it's coming from China, for example.
For that sort of argument, if I go to any shop, for instance, and body shop, for example, how do I know that they're making organic stuff? They claim, they charge premium prices and everything, and they claim it's organic or whatever. So I can question anything, but I trust the brand. Okay?
No, this is a different thing, because we are talking now with blockchain, YouTuber,
so unique QR code is what we...
Yeah, so we're talking about, now you have the opportunity of blockchain to actually verify that things are, it's really not fake or whatever. This is what we want. If it's just back at the whole, I just trust, but I thought the blockchain is supposed to eliminate that, and that you're able to...
I think it's important maybe to try it out, then you will see how it works.
The first time I don't know how to try that, because
Okay.
I don't know how to verify.
You know what? Join us, our community get to know us, then let's have a start.
Come to me.
It's all fine, everything is on track, right? But I cannot even access to go and see, is it true or not? Is it inside there, not in the blockchain itself?
Yeah, I think essentially this question can be answered by understanding the technology by itself. So why you don't want, why a single source of database is not trustworthy is because normal people cannot access it from outside. Say for example, today you're using Facebook. Facebook has a single, let's just make it simple, there's a single point of database entry. So everything that has to go through, everything that you do in Facebook is stored in Facebook. Like you and I cannot go access to Facebook database unless you pay the money to do the advertisement. But then again, how do you know that it's real? It can be this group is targeted, and if you try to run ad on Facebook, sometimes you target Singapore, but then sometimes it's how come everybody from Southeast Asia is inside the target group as well, right? This is one concept of if you have a centralized database, right? You cannot access to it. But why blockchain actually requires you not to trust the technology itself is because of the infrastructure of the database, right? To put this in very simple terms, let's say today there's a bank, right? Say she's bank ABC. If I put money in, bank ABC is the one keeping the record, right? So I have to, essentially, I cannot ask her XYZ. I cannot ask her, XYZ, what is ABC record? Right? She does not have the knowledge of that. That's why I need to trust that she's not doing something funny to the record. But today with blockchain, imagine all of you are computer for a moment. Just imagine it, right? So you have ABC and then XYZ, BCD, right? So today I write something to ABC, right? Because of the infrastructure of the technology, ABC needs to broadcast. Okay, there's this information. XYZ receive. Okay, BCD receive as well. So now this whole information is spread around, right? Yeah, it's the same information. It goes deeper into why you can't really mutate the data in that sense. But so this whole system will be able to track the different transaction that goes in between, and then you can go ask anyone of it. Like say for example, if XYZ want to tamper the record, right? Tamper my record, then she will give a signal that say, oh, my record is not valid. But then when they check with everyone else is valid, right? Think of it like now you have all the record. Everyone else is valid, but hers is the only one that's not valid. So in this sense, it's sort of like majority wins. So her record that she tried to fraud become invalid in that sense, right? In a higher level, I mean, if you are very interested in how this works, you can go to read the white paper, the Bitcoin white paper. They actually have a very, very good explanation of why this system, they actually thought of why it is so expensive to cheat the system. Because, and it's also not just like if I cheat the system, right? And why is there a cryptocurrency in place, right? It's, to me, right, I'm not sure if you know BitTorrent, peer-to-peer system, right? So it's usually for people who want to download music illegally or movie illegally. It's a very nice peer-to-peer system where you can just get the files from other people, right? But then the thing with this is that once you finish downloading the file, you take down your node. Because you don't see the value of keeping up your different nodes, different database. But with the introduction of cryptocurrency as a reward to keep the node up, people are actually incentivized to do that. People are incentivized to do the honest thing, so as to say. Because if you try to sabotage this system, you own a lot, I mean not a lot, you sort of have skin in the game, I would say. You own the cryptocurrency, fundamentally you want this cryptocurrency to be worth something in future, so you won't try to sabotage the system. Of course, there are people who will try, but yeah, in a rational way, but we all know that humans don't really usually work in irrational, but this is a system that was developed. This system is constructed to ensure that people, most of the time, rational people will act in the interest of the system. Yeah.
Thank you, Wing. So let's move on. I think she has been waiting for a long time to ask a question.
Thank you, Crystal.
Yeah.
My name is Mariam. I am from the IO Foundation. I work there as an officer for business and human rights in technology. I am from Malaysia. I've been in human rights for 10 years. It's this year that I dwell into technology and how it can interact and also help human rights advance. So I would like to first make an addition to the discussion about how would any technology, and today it just so happened we're talking about blockchain, would help women, but in particular, different from men. So I come from a Muslim majority country where patriarchal laws exist to deny women of certain rights. And for example, inheritance laws are discriminatory against women. Divorce laws would usually not favor women. So I see technologies like this, including but not limited to blockchain, as something that could be useful to help these women in cases like this to overcome these structural and institutionalized barriers. You get what I mean? Okay. Of course, this does not limit to just women. Any marginalized communities would benefit from this. So that's where I guess where this perspective comes in. Women's perspective, in a sense that they have to overcome much higher institutionalized barriers in order to get ahead in life. So yeah, I would just like to add up that, okay? And then my question actually is an extension of what the lady earlier has already asked. Where exactly are the exact opportunities? Because not everyone will want to be a developer or an investor, or not everyone is capable even, you know? It's not just about you want it, but also can you do it? So are there opportunities that are not investment-based or technical-based? For example, for myself, since I work in an NGO, I will be on the policy-making side of things. Consulting and advising the government on what exactly is the correct or the ideal ecosystem that would help societies. So that leads to my second question. What does the ideal ecosystem look like? State and business, and also state and people. So let's just throw these two questions to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so probably I'll get Wan Wei and Xin Yin to answer her first question, because she's asking about besides tech and also investment, how else can women enter? So as a UX designer, Xin Yin, what are your thoughts on this?
I think you don't actually have to know the tech to be using it. Just go to company who are using this tech and then understand, because at the end of the day, I don't think everybody should have the tech knowledge to understand what blockchain is about, but it's actually the thing behind that supports what you're doing in front. So I think there are a few like blockchains that support social good, but I can't have them at the top of my head right now. So that's for whether you need to know tech to get into blockchain. And
what other opportunities other than tech and investment?
So I work in sales and marketing.
Yeah.
One of the areas.
Use the mic.
So I work for a cryptocurrency exchange. Underlying technology is ERC20, which is the blockchain technology itself. I don't know the technology in terms like what she or she will be knowing. I'm not a developer. So I know from a sales and marketing perspective, how can I educate my clients about ideas, about listings. You can also look into a career in education. That's very important, because blockchain technology is very new and everybody is keen to understand, like Aziz is keen to understand how is it different, how can I trust it? That's a very good area to be in, to start with, educating yourself and educating others and building up a community.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
Intervention, what she says, if you know why technology, blockchain, whatever, not with regard to the first question. Religious dimension is not within the scope of the technology. It is gender neutral. It's a question of management. Do you know how to manage yourself? Self-management is what it is. It's not against whether women or non-women.
Yeah,
I think that's
definitely.
a misconception.
Yeah, and I think Wan Wei, she's an educator in blockchain and also cryptocurrency. I think she can share her perspective, her work doing marketing for blockchain with you, her own experience.
Let me, the point of educator, right? In Japan, there are two pretty prominent ladies. One is Miss Bitcoin, but really is by Fujimoto. So she's quite high profile. She don't know tech lah. Okay, I shouldn't say this, but her tech knowledge not very strong. But in terms of theory, foundation, basic, she can explain. The other one is I forgot her surname, but she's the head of Ethereum Enterprise Alliance (EEA) in Japan. Aya Miyaguchi, if I'm not wrong. Both of them, their background is really educated. So Aya Miyaguchi, I think her previous job was in a high school teacher. Miss Bitcoin previous job was kindergarten teacher. But then again, I do agree with the gentleman just now. I don't really like this gender discourse because I feel that it's all about passion. Like, what do you really want to do in your life? Human rights, right, is very noble. But just like I mentioned, GiveDirect.io is actually an interstellar platform. They believe very strongly in having every transaction on the blockchain so as to prevent corruption in the midway. So I think with this kind of angle, I would really love for the discourse to move towards an angle that says, what value could we bring to people who don't have a privileged life like us in Singapore? Basic things, basic rights, like banking and access to finance. I think there should be more discourse on this. So which, as part of someone, a professional in the human rights industry, if you can bring a voice up to this and use blockchain tech to this, I think it's a very strong proposition, rather than to base it on whether on gender or on like some other things.
So the second question is you were asking what
does the ideal ecosystem
ideal ecosystem. So
between the state and the business, and the state and the people, and business and the people?
maybe let me add on that. My personal take is that I am uncomfortable answering this question also because I think we should be realistic lah. So in the end, I think it's going to be hybrid. It's not like new tech going to replace the bank or existing information. We all have to work together and then see how it evolves. Yeah, that's my thing.
I agree on that.
Yes, agree too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think for the ideal ecosystem is really fuzzy, so that is why it's a good time if you are looking to get in, like, and it's sort of linked to the job opportunity as well. So if you look at any tech company, they don't just have techies, right? You can't survive on techies alone. I wish that's the case, but no, that's the cold hard truth is you need a variety of skills to ensure the ecosystem can thrive. So like I say, like if you're looking at what's the best opportunity to get in, it's really, I would say it's really to just go to a job portal and see what's the available job. That's the most straightforward, right? Like see what are companies hiring for. And chances are you have a lot of different job roles that is required, and you might see something that suits you. Yeah.
Thank you. So we have our last question for tonight. So anyone? No? Okay. Last one.
My name is Victoria. So my question is, this brings it back to the presentation really early on, which we saw that majority of, like, we've got a great number of people without banks, and then we want to introduce, like, crypto into their region, right, to help them assess, banks and other kind of financial services. And then the question is, how much, because I imagine this group of people without banks, they probably face like issues such as, like you mentioned, like lack of accessibility to financial institutions. Additionally, they have like lower income brackets that might also mean that they don't have that much literacy in like finance and technology. How ready and how acceptable, how easy is this for us to then bring in crypto, something that's so, fuzzy even for people who are educated, to assess this technology and really tap on the potential of it?
There's the one holding the mic. One way. Thank you for your question. Let's say the Venezuela, right? Like, imagine a season there in a country facing hyperinflation. So every time you go to work, you earn a monthly salary. Let's say we put it at a US dollar value, $500 a month. Then you know for sure, right? Next month it will drop to $100 in real value. So because of that fear, you don't want your hard work to go to waste. You will go. Trust me, you will go and find out what is Bitcoin. Imagine like as volatile Bitcoin is, you still have